Well, I already made a mistake in the first video. I'm not really scripting any of this, I'm just saying what comes to my mind. So, I did miss something, last time. As you can see here as the game goes on. iCare, resigns. This is before my attack on Bass or anything like that, just at the setup. So now we have a second player who has resigned. But now back to where we were at the end of the last video. I start my attacks on Gabler. And he had just hired a helmsman, and he sees these attacks incoming, and he can't defend, so he gets out. And he actually does something that's really great. He moves his helmsman off of his queen to get his production specialist to Neptune for faster production, even though he's capped. But anyway, he decides to do that, so I'm pretty glad that he did not put his queen and helmsman together. And so I take the base, and he runs right before I get there with all of his drillers and his queen and sentry. And so I pursue as fast as possible. I have an attack incoming here from Gabler, as you can see, and an attack incoming from Deep Core as well. And so I'm trying to chase him down to get his queen. And now while I've been doing all these things that I've been talking about myself for, you can see Nojo's down here, and Nojo is taking him in Kramer, Ruiz. He takes Woodridge eventually here. There it is. He takes Woodridge, and they pretty much clear out the bottom of Bass down here. And so he's got not much place to run other than over here where Crunchy Bits is. And so Tsukiku, I should also mention her, she did a nice job over here taking out his right flank. And so he's starting to get pushed into this little box. And so as he's running away, he lands here at East Saxon. And so he's just sitting there, and he hasn't logged on in the past like 18 hours. So literally all I have to do is have him not log on for an hour and have not scheduled anything, and I will take out his queen. And it turns out that is what happened, and Bass got taken down. And so I was really glad about that. It was really exciting, and it was just awesome that we got to take that cheater out so fast, because when you don't have speed specialists to chase down a queen, it can be really painful sometimes to mess with stuff like that. And so after Bass was taken down, the game just agrees to a 24-hour ceasefire. Everyone wants to redistribute their drillers, recover from Bass. Some people, like Emmy over here, he didn't get too much expansion from Bass. He had to do more of gifting drillers. Actually, it looks like him and Dark Rogue were fighting during that time. I had no idea about that. Okay, but yeah, some people did not get as good of expansion, such as him, off of that. But 3 people who did, I think, really well for themselves from this was Tsukiko really got expanded, Nojo did, and so did I. I think our base count at this point was Tsukiko was at 16, I was at 14, and Nojo maybe at 12-ish. Mathwiz did really well too, I should say. Not as much from Bass, but from absorbing all the bases of iCare who had resigned. And so Bass gets taken out, and the game is going to start to shift back to how it was supposed to be without specialists. And so this 24-hour ceasefire is in place, and Mathwiz makes a mistake right here. This is still significantly inside of the 24-hour ceasefire, and he forgets about it and attacks Crunchy Bits. So he attacks here with his 42, just barely misses it. And so he did what I think was the right thing. He gifts the 42 to make up for the 42 that he killed, and he withdraws from Wilkes so that he could still honor the ceasefire. It cost him a bit of time and some drillers, but overall, I think that was the right thing to do. But it was during this time that I got very sick. There's been a lot of sickness going around at my school, and there was about a 24-hour period where I slept pretty much constantly and did not check subterfuge at all, which is why all my bases are maxed out, or my production is maxed out, and why I'm just sort of letting my drillers sit doing nothing. And so, obviously, as we were finishing up with Bass, me, Math, and Nojo decided who the next target that we would have would be. And so we decided to go for the easy choice of the biggest player and take down Tsukiku because she had more bases than anyone else did in the entire game. And so I enjoyed every other player in the game when we were taking down Bass. I did work with Tsukiku a good bit, and that was really good, but I just decided that it would be best if we took her down. And so, after I got better, I launched this attack here, and Tsukiko freaks out. She is not happy with this at all. She seems a little more enraged at Mathwiz because Mathwiz missed his timing here on his gift, and had she not intercepted it there, I would have arrived a minute before those did and got them, but she played it pretty smart there. And so I got into Hatoria here. She's really just launching everything she can to defend this base, pulling out of everywhere else, letting Nojo or me take everywhere else, like in Sandbar or McGuire, and just trying to defend Hatoria. And while it was a good defense and she got it back for a couple of hours here, it sort of let us cut that base off so she had no more reinforcement for that base. I guess I should mention something here. I forgot about it again. I'm not scripting any of this. Mathwiz was gifting Tsukiko because Tsukiko had gifted Mathwiz. And so, she had much earlier, when Bass was still alive, she had sent troops across the map in order to try to take Tomets and get an angle on Bass. But Mathwiz had taken that, and so he did the right thing again there and gifted the drillers back. She also gifted to me. I did not do the right thing. I used those drillers to attack her. And so we've cut off Hatoria, and she is starting to fall over here. I've taken Tangaroa. She's attacking Kalhamer, which was where Hard Game's queen was. I didn't really care about that base too much. It was more just a problem of, oh no, now he has 70 drillers there. But as you can see, she quickly drops them out. And so we start to take her down, and I think it's around this point where I started to notice that Dark Rogue was taking her territories very easily. She was sending things to Dark Rogue's bases. She was gifting things to Dark Rogue, as you can see here. And it's pretty obvious that she and Dark Rogue have worked out that she's gonna suicide her queen here, as you can see, and Dark Rogue is gonna take over from there.